Now, ladies and gentlemen, the show you never knew you were waiting for. Brought to you live at one time from a basement located somewhere in the Midwest. Digital Barnyard presents The Digression.
We just got back from lunch, and it was over at, what's that place where the the girls wear the, it's like they wear the nylons. It's like they go on at the Mall of America, you know, the really short shorts, and it's just a shitty sports bar.
Is that Hooters?
Hooters, yeah. Used to be better. So we'd been to lunch, and I'd only been in training for, I think it was my second week. And I had my gaffs on, and I had a couple beers at lunch, but I had my gaffs on to where the spikes are on the outside and they're on the inside. Because when you're climbing a pole to install the cable TV, you can't climb for the outside of your feet. You gotta.
Oh, this is when you were installing cable.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And so I had my gaffs on the outside, and I wanted to have.
He'll get this.
I wanted to have. Okay, I wasn't drunk, but I was. You know, they were the big. You know, they're like, "Do you want the small one or the big one?" It's like, well, you'll take the big one. You know, I should have had that tasty Canadian whiskey, but I opted for the beers. And if I would have had that same amount, I probably would have. They almost kicked me out of the class for that.
I'm going to center the camera on you. Take a bow for the people. Take a bow. That was well done. See, what I gave him was Canadian whiskey and cable were the two words. Which
happened to match up with a story.
That was an actual story. So there you go.
Yes, yeah. That's what we do. I have stories. I've got lots of stories.
Well done, Johnny boy.
Thank you.
It actually, you reminded me. Can I remember? We'll kick it off with this. You had a story of. I don't remember now. You had told me I need to ask you about a story about your life. And
had I talked about something?
Yeah.
Had I talked about something yet? It'll come to us.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It was kind of funny too. Well, to me, I mean, it's my story, right?
Oh,
he almost had it.
I did. It's on the tip of my tongue, or it's on the tip of my brain. That's not going to help me get it.
Well, just try.
Okay.
At least
how is that going to help me remember anything?
Be willing to try.
All right. Enough.
Right. Sorry.
Good fucking.
I'm just trying to help him. Oh, that poor girl is very hydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's new, Mr. Johnny Boy, Mr. JP?
Well, this Friday I'll have the new proofs of the book. We got the first proofs, and they were. It was okay. It showed some rework that we needed to do on the cover, and the formatting got a little screwy on the inside, so I got that fixed up, though, and ordered new ones. And actually, I like the cover better, so it's going to be pretty cool. I'd show you one right now, but I'm not prepared.
Is that, that's coming, what, Friday? Friday?
I'm
nice.
very excited. I'll tweet, so I'm sure all my tweeties would, can't wait to see it. I'm sure.
Oh, your tweeties. And then you also mentioned that you're getting all the audio stuff kind of figured out over the next few days.
Yes,
right?
I'm taking the next couple. I'm taking a day and a half off because I've got a meeting at work. Tomorrow they'll go from 10:30 to 11:30. So if you want to do lunch, I'm available.
Oh, you have to go? Okay.
Yeah, I need to.
It's a must show.
Yeah, a must show. Well, not really a must show, but I think it's a must show. So
okay, that's cool.
It's an opinion thing. It's very similar to my relationship with the Lord.
Okay.
Well, you know,
you mean your lack of relationship with the Lord?
Yeah, and that has to happen. It's just that absolute.
I'm so fucking confused.
It has to not happen.
I should just accept what's going on in the head.
I know,
right
it's
there.
like when you like I tried to talk to him tonight about I bumped things, but I don't think I bumped them too bad. About how the earth recycles its mantle and magma and everything that's on the earth is going to be in the earth. And like, so if you think about it, us people, you know, I mean, everything on the earth, even if it is expended as energy and turned to ash, still it all gets mashed up inside of the.
It's true. It all turns into.
All turns into that
churns
next
it out.
cycle.
Now, so obviously this is kind of a dumb question we probably don't know the answer to, but so obviously the center of our planet is lava, right? And
it's a molten core.
Well, molten core, whatever. So it comes out,
but it's metal, like not lava.
Okay,
it's a different. I think it's right. Yeah, because it's really heavy. So all the
dense, makes sense.
Stuff is down there.
So it
density central. That's what we call it.
It kicks like, let's say the lava layer, whatever. It comes out and it turns into more mantle, right?
Right.
And I would imagine the layers underneath eventually get down and turn to more lava, and it just constantly recycles.
It just constantly recycles.
So it's like we've been using the same ground and.
Yeah, I mean everything that is here has been here before.
Yeah,
I mean,
makes sense.
I mean, when you think of it, like if you can apply a Zen moment to it, that's the cool thing. It's like, everything will be again in one form or another.
What if Trump doesn't believe you?
Well,
he doesn't think lava's real.
Fake lava.
Fake lava. Yeah.
They always said the floor was lava. It never was.
It never was lava.
It never was lava.
Our house, we had so many couches, the game sucked. Do you ever play the lava game when you can get it? Go get it.
I'm getting
Get that cup.
Get that cup.
I'm going to center on you. Go get that cup. Get that cup. They got it. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it's not even coffee.
And he's bumping our cameras, too. Look at him. He bumped our cameras.
I did bump the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to bump stuff.
So
I'm a bumper. I bump things.
We might sound a little different today, and that's because we're fucking morons.
We are dumb.
We had our audio gear hooked up wrong, so our compressor wasn't even being used. Our EQ, which this fellow got today.
From an awesome fellow named
Michael
Brower.
Mr. Brower, thank you for this. We
You're
each have our
awesome,
own
dude.
EQ.
Yes, and we sound pretty.
And I think I'm going to bring a different mic for next week. I'll let you know, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just bring it and take it with me.
Oh, that one you got?
I got an
Does
SM.
it get a little carrying case? I like the ones that have like a little silver carrying case. Because I had a friend, my friend Lane Mason from Utah, when he'd go sing, because he sang.
Mason?
Lane Mason. Lane was really cool.
Oh, Lane. Okay.
Lane Mason. But when he would go to band practice, he had this little case. And it was 2 blocks over, so he'd just walk. So he'd walk down the street with his little case, his little microphone case. It was just a little...
How old were you during this time?
Oh, I don't know, 27.
Oh, okay. Old enough to know better.
But too dumb to resist.
I like it.
Or too young to resist. Old enough to know better, young enough to... Fuck it. Just do it.
God, I wish I could remember that fucking story.
What was it about? Do you remember the flavor?
No, it was just...
Because it was a time that I... Nothing to do with animals.
I don't know where that's going.
I don't either.
Oh, my
I wouldn't
God.
tell that story. Or the other one.
Help me. This is the SOS. Put up
Which
the
is
bat
better
signal.
than those guys in the 40s without the O in the middle.
It was a slow burn. That's a slow burn. I reached that point. I'm like, what do I? I'm not just going to nod my head. I have to know what he's talking about.
God
damn. Dude.
That's just how it works in here.
Yeah. I mean, shit.
It's never lonely. We're never closed.
Yeah.
We'll keep a light out for you.
Was that Motel 6 or 8?
Motel 8, I think.
6
or 6.
8.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you? I mean, I own a Motel 6. As your competitor, why would I own a Motel 8 right next door to you? That's like Menards and Home Depot and Lowe's all within a big ass fucking farm block.
Which happens frequently.
I know. I think those are
kind
dick
of weird.
moves. I think those are insecure moves or dick moves.
So it's whoever. Well, gas stations do the same thing, right? So whoever has that a cent off gas, everyone's going to go to that one. When you think about it, that's not saving you shit.
No, especially when you think of all the water they add to your gas.
There you go.
There's a place in Blue Springs, Missouri I used to live, and I lived in this old trailer park. Yes, I lived in a trailer. You should see my first fucking little trailer I lived in.
That sounds about right. A trailer park, yeah.
But there's a Wildcat gas station on the corner right there of 43 and 7, sorry. And they got cut so many times with the garden hose in the fucking gas tank. You know,
wait a minute, that's a thing?
Yeah, they would do that. It was back in the 80s. He just put a little water in there, just enough, I guess.
Yeah, but how expensive was gas in the 80s compared to now? Like, even
with
inflation?
Dude, this was like a small town. Da-da-da-da-da. You know, they just make that extra money, whatever it took.
Jesus.
It's not my call.
Crazy.
It's like rednecks. Why do you think I don't live there anymore? It's not my...
Because you blew the town up somehow?
Cup of tea. I did not blow a town up.
Speaking of blowing the town up.
Yes.
How about them motherfucking Vikings?
Holy guacamole. That was pretty fucking cool.
That game was fucking amazing. Crazy ending.
And nobody ever would have fucking ever expected that.
Yeah, no.
Now, is that something that you could
it always happens against the Vikings.
bet on in Vegas? Could you bet that it would be... I mean, is there a house like... Let's say you had a unique bet. You said, I'm going to bet that this play... I mean, it's a perfect storm bet. But let's say I bet this team's going to win by 3 by a last-ditch Hail Mary within the last 10 seconds.
Vegas has a lot of prop bets. I don't think that's one of them, but honestly, I wouldn't put it past them.
But I imagine they'd take a custom bet. Especially something unique. I mean, it's if you think about it, because the odds of that happening were what, 2%, 2 point something percent, you were saying?
Yeah. Well, ESPN has some metric as the game's going on, how the percentage that a team's going to win the game.
Oh, this is live.
Yeah, and the Vikings in that position in the game with 24 seconds left, 2.6%. 2.6%. 2.6%. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a 97 point something percent chance it's not going to happen. So the Vegas would say, "Yeah, we'll fucking take it. I'll give you 100 to 1." Sure.
I wonder if they made that metric for betting, because the problem is when the game's going on, I don't know what kind of bets they take, because it'd be hard to tell like when the play happened versus when the bet was brought in.
But if you were very distinct, if you said in the last 10 seconds, I think they're going to win
a game-winning touchdown
with game-winning touchdown,
walk-off touchdown. Wouldn't put it past them. I'm sure a prop like that would exist. Yeah,
I'm sure some of these. Sure. Now, what's a prop?
I'm going to fuck up the word. It's either a proposition or a
proposal.
Or no, propagate. Shit. Hold on. I'm looking this up. I should know this.
He should know this because he has gambling issues.
I do not have fucking gambling issues.
So if you have gambling issues, don't take it out on your family. Like Aaron does. You actually go to Gamblers Anonymous. Because they can help you, and they have free coffee and punch. Sometimes soda. It just depends on who set up the refreshments that night, and once in a while cookies. But the cookies aren't always that good. I don't have any addictions. I just know this because I like free cookies.
What the fuck are you rambling on? What are you blathering on about?
Well, we were talking about things. Like over at Home Furniture, they have cookies there that I bet you the employees got to make, like...
Proposition bet.
Yeah. Proposition bet. No, you go over to like Home Furniture.
Yeah.
And they always have that section in the middle where they have the hot cookies, right? And it's always one of the, the floor people who are selling. So, Janet, it's your turn. You got to make. I don't make no fucking cookies. I got these guys. They're looking at the Lazy Boy, the Lounger, and the bookcase. Okay, just let me. You have to make the cookies.
We need they won't come otherwise.
And then they won't come otherwise. Yeah. And then you make the cookies, and then you got all those little kids running around touching everything, and it's like, that cookie you just picked up off the pan? I'll put it on my napkin, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't want those. I got to think about kids' fingers, man, because you know where they've been.
Yeah.
Usually you'd say, you don't know where that shit's been. This shit's been in their mouth. It's been in their ass. It's been in their, they've been, they're touching everything.
They don't know better.
They like go up to the dog, boop, on the back end. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like, no.
Have you ever seen that? It's meme before memes, but it was a dog with its tail up and a kid like.
Sleeping.
No, I don't think it was sleeping, but this kid was like licking his fingers. It looked like they had chocolate on it. And it was just, and it said, only the dog knows.
The dog knows.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
Did you ever see the one, this is an early meme too, but it's where the kid's sleeping, look like a little sleep out. He's sleeping on the couch or on the floor. And the dog is sleeping with the kid, right there with the kid. But the way the dog's laying, it's like the kid's just base is buried in the dog's ass. And he's just sleeping.
But it was a camera trick?
No. It was like they must have woke up in the morning, and that's how he was sleeping on the floor. The dog had just butted his ass right up to the kid's face. That's a hilarious picture. I could find it at some point.
That's a bad thing to wake up to.
That's a bad thing for your parents to have.
Well,
that picture.
Not all parents are like you, where they're going to rub that in their kid's fucking face, John.
Well, they should be.
Yeah, why don't you just sneeze? Why don't you just sneeze and ruin all this good audio gear? God bless you and keep you, son.
I don't want you to die.
You just want me to get hurt
I
real
just
bad?
want a little bit of pain threshold visitation.
So you want me to stub a toe of my choice?
Yes.
Thank you.
Man, I
I'll
did
take
some
that.
massive toe stubbing when I was a kid. Because we used to, in California where I grew up, the kids, we'd all play in the street and shit. We just play stupid shit and do stupid games that kids do. But I can't tell you how many times we'd be running across the street. And then, when you've been doing it all day, right? You're playing out all day and then into the night. Well, you'd forget that you still have to look at night because you can't see. And we wouldn't look in it. And I'd smack that big toe right into that fucking curb so many times.
Did you ever break it?
No, but I split that fucking thing open. I can't tell you how many toenails I lost. That would just turn blue and fall off and shit from smacking that toe.
How old were you? What what age is a memory like this from?
It's probably 10, 11, 12 in that area.
Crazy, man.
Yes. Memories.
I remember it wasn't a toe stub, but my buddy Duff, this is when we were really young. He probably still remembers this. But we were on a seesaw, and he's on one end, I'm on the other, and he did the old trick where I'm at the top, and he falls off on purpose. And so what had happened was I came down, and my foot was underneath it, and slammed. So my full body weight was second grader or something. And, I fractured my pinky toe. And they gave me a full fucking cast for that.
Did you fuck Duff up for that? Did you beat his ass?
No, he wasn't trying to injure me. I mean, I should have caught myself, but I was uncoordinated.
You should still get him back. Because Yakuza rules.
Shit. Let's see. That would have been, 20-some years ago? Why would I go after him?
It's Yakuza things, man. You got it. If you want to be a good Yakuza, dude.
How many times that guy's had to help my puke-ridden ass around? I think I owe him.
Okay, so.
I think I owe him big time.
Have you broken anything of his?
Have I broken anything of his? I backed his truck into a cart one time and just dented a little bit of it was like a rubberized bumper type deal.
I don't think that qualifies.
Let's see.
Have you broken any of his physical structure?
No.
Broken the skin?
I've broken his spirit numerous times.
You've broken his...
Because he realized, he's like, you should go to the bathroom. You're going to puke. And then I just puke all over the place. I don't get up to puke. I puke where I sit.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
See, I'm that guy who grabs you by the back of your pants and your belt, and I drag you into the bathroom.
I've never puked around you.
No.
No.
I help you.
No, I don't
I assist. Because if you're ever... Kayla and I had this thing we put together. If you're ever wounded and you require aid, you are to raise your hand and say, I am wounded and I require aid. And the medic will reply, if you are wounded and you require aid, raise your hand and say, I am wounded and I require aid. And I will come help you.
What?
Yeah. Oh, we had this thing. We went on for a good half hour with that one night.
You and your daughter,
Just
Kayla.
kept twisting it.
Yeah.
Just redoing it and twisting it. And,
Was this after she had long left the house? This was like in her 20s?
Oh, she was like 12, 13.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Did I ever tell you the time she came up to me and she said, hey, Dad?
Is this going to be embarrassing to your daughter?
Not in that kind of way.
Okay, go ahead.
She said, let's play Command and Conquer or Age of Empires.
That's a great game. Age of Empires. Command and Conquer is a great game, too.
Generals. Give us shoes. We have shoes. But I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll play. She goes, okay, but we both get a half hour to set up, okay? Because I know how you play. I'm like, okay. So we both start building. And I sent scouts out to 3 different locations, just different areas on the map. And, oh, there she is. Okay, you go hide in the bushes. You guys come back. So I started building trebuchets.
So, hold on. You were better at this than she was. That's what you're basically telling me. Okay, go ahead.
So I start building all these trebuchets. But I make their spot. What do you call it? Where you click, you tell it where they go when they come out of the factory.
Oh, it's a rally point.
Rally point. So I set the rally point just around the outside of her castle, and she never saw it because she's just busy building. Right. So I'm just like, I keep moving the rally point until she's all surrounded. I probably had about like 70 trebuchets, and I had been moving my scout around the outside of her castle. And she's just got massive troops, just massive troops, horsemen, okay, that's good. That's really good. And she goes, okay, I'm ready. She goes, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm like, okay. And she goes, are you ready to go? She goes, yep. And I had them all highlighted, and I'm like, fire. And it's like, you just hear this, and it's like, and she was, all of her shit was just gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we made it 10 seconds. And her spirit, she goes, I'm never playing with you again.
So you didn't go easy on her. You taught her a life lesson that life is not fair.
Curb has flavor.
God.
Well, they need to understand that. Children need to understand that the curb does not taste good, and you're going to have to eat a little bit of concrete once in a while. That's just a little salt in the cookie. That's how it goes.
You should sell curb seasoning. That'd be a good gimmick for you.
Curb what?
Curb seasoning. Because it doesn't taste good. You get a little seasoning, it might taste a little better.
There you go, curb seasoning. Yeah. To make those bad times feel just a little better, if only for a moment.
Sure, you got curb kicked and lost all your teeth. At least it tasted great with the allspice.
The allspice?
What's wrong with allspice? You don't like allspice?
Oh, I love allspice, but that's going to be, your lips are going to be kind of numb and stuff.
Well, when it mixes with the blood, you'd be surprised what that does for the palate. Oh, that's right,
because it really brings out the salt.
It really does, yep. You get that irony taste, and then, yeah.
Shithole countries.
Shithole countries, yes.
That's been a good source of entertainment the last few days.
Let's just be honest. Like, come on, we all know he said that, and he believes it.
Well, no, I've heard different things in the news that they say that's not what he said. That they were saying the president had strong language, but he did not say that. That is not what he said. You guys have to quit misrepresenting what he said. And then another one comes out and says, yeah, he didn't say shithole. He said shit house. And it's like, that.
Oh, latrine. Great.
And what's his name? Druben.
Oh,
Durbin.
Durbin. Sure, we'll go with Durbin.
I think it's Durbin.
Right.
He's like, that's your defense. That's the best you got. And it's like,
that was after they were shitting on him, right? For coming out and say, was he the one who
Dickie Durbin?
Yeah. What?
Dickie Durbin, as Trump calls him now.
Oh God, he needs to just stay off of Twitter.
Dickie Durbin, little Dickie Durbin, how you doing now?
Hey, Dickie.
He ruined DACA. It's like, no.
Yeah. One thing I will say, so with the DACA thing. There's a story going around of this 30-year-old, or no, I'm sorry, he's been here for 30 years, this man with his wife and 2 kids.
And now, supposedly sent back to Salvador or Mexico?
I think it was Mexico, but he has to go back because he was brought over here illegally when he was 10. So he didn't have a choice. He was brought over here. And when you're here illegally, you cannot apply to become a citizen. The rules state you cannot be a citizen when you're here.
Right.
So he had no choice but to kind of just make his way through life. Well, they found him. They're sending him back. So his wife and kids since they were born here, are American citizens, but he has no choice. He has to go to Mexico and now wait through what could be a 10-year process to become a citizen.
Well, can you get a visa, work visa, or anything like that?
I'm not sure. Not sure how that works, if they're less lenient. But
the thing is, if they got rules in place that disallow him from doing something like that, and he is a law-abiding citizen, he's not doing bad stuff.
Yeah,
he's
no
supporting
crime
his
or
family.
anything.
He's not living off the government. I think we should pull our fucking head out of our ass, and because a lot of things. This is one of the things that kind of pisses me off about the immigrant argument. The fact that a lot of these immigrants do the jobs that a lot of other people don't want to do.
Yeah, there's definitely a point to that. And as much as Trump is against immigrants, which we'll piggyback on this in a second, but he's hired plenty of most likely illegals to work on some of his shit.
Yep. Yeah, he has. And the thing is, this country is built off of immigrants.
Yeah,
of course. Are we Americans? Yeah, we're Americans, but we're still immigrants. We came here and we took it from the name the Indian band,
Yep.
And some of those Indians, they came up from Mexico and took shit from others, and I think this place was found once, and then people just started taking it from everybody.
And this is just to be fair to Trump. People are using this story to go against, well, this is his new immigration rules. None of those have passed. Right? None of those have passed. He hasn't changed DACA yet. No,
DACA's still in the weeds.
Yeah, because
there's the government shutdown looming because of a lot of this, because they can't agree on the DACA thing. So what I want to know is why? Why is the DACA thing holding up the government?
I think it's basically he's not getting him and his his cabinet aren't getting what they want.
So
they can threaten a government shutdown.
So he's going to threaten a government shutdown and blame it on the Democrats?
There's probably more to
Not
that.
that I'm right, left, red, or blue. I'm just asking. That's I think what they're going to do, right? He says that's the Democrat, Dickie Durbin's fault.
Well, sure, it'll come down to that. But here's the deal. It's not Trump's fault that this guy's getting put back to Mexico. What I'm saying is it's nothing he did to cause this. And I'm seeing the media spin it that way. You don't understand. These rules were the same when Obama was in office.
What you're saying now.
So it's not... This story sucks. This guy should not... He should be pardoned by the president, I think. But it's not Trump's cabinet that caused this to happen. So
I hadn't even heard of that, actually.
Yeah. So
I mean, I knew about him leaving. I didn't know whose fault it was, or if it was anyone's fault, or if that's just the rule of law.
And this is all derivative, of course, because there's no way to do all the research yourself. But Obama also sent illegals, right? I mean, so it's not... Just to be fair, we shit on this guy a lot, and God, does he deserve to be shit on.
Should we deport Emilio Estevez?
Well, he hasn't made any good movies lately, so probably.
He's got that Hispanic last name.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
You know,
where was he when he was 10 years old?
It's crazy because in our narrowed view on Mexico, we all think, well, we know what a Mexican looks like, right? We know what Hispanic people look like. You don't understand. There are a lot of white-looking Hispanics. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like people look at Emilio Estevez and they
go to Spain.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But even in Mexico, like Louis C.K. was born and raised in Mexico.
I did not know that.
Yes. Yeah. So
his
first language was Spanish.
I went, I'll bet you, like someone from Japan probably feels the same way I do when they see somebody who is obviously Japanese, but they were born and raised here, so they speak fluent English and they don't speak Japanese. I get that same feeling when I see somebody from Japan who was born and raised there, and then they never learned English or anything. So that's just it's their language. And I remember when I was watching that show, The Library, there's a couple guys on there. There's a black guy and a white guy, but they were born and raised there in Japan, I believe, and so they didn't speak English at all. And it was like,
it's kind of a shock to the system.
Weird.
Well, it's one of those internal non-racist things that happens where you see a race and you think you know what they sound like.
I think it's an X trigger. Like it is a slight xenophobe trigger, just slight. It's just
we all have it. You know, it's when you see a Latino person, you think you kind of know what, if they were to speak English, what they would sound like.
Yes,
it's more prevalent in white people when they're looking at black people, right? Because you see a black person and you think they're going to speak a certain way,
right?
And then I've even in football, this is really interesting. So there's a player by the name of Robert Griffin III, and well, he speaks what people would say white. He speaks more like a white person, right?
Okay.
And another black ex-football player, called him out and questioned his blackness
because of the way that he talked.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's crazy.
So that sort of thing, I think it's just human nature.
So getting us back into football, because I think we segued away from that. How about that fucking play?
How about that fucking Vikings game?
Have you been watching some of the response videos?
Oh yeah.
Or the reaction videos?
Did you see the one where the camera, I think it must have been a phone camera on the field where the touchdown happened in that end zone? It's insane because there's no announcing going on. He catches the ball, and then the place just goes fucking nuts when they realize he's gone. He's going to fucking score a touchdown, and it was crazy. It was so fucking loud in that place.
At first I thought number 43 was like high
Williams
or something.
Yeah.
And then because I'm like, dude, you jumped it. But then once you explained it to me that he was trying to keep him, he was trying to do an inbounds hit. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
Because here's the deal: if he tackles him inbounds, the game is likely over. We had no timeouts, and there was not enough time for us to get up there.
To get off, to get that ball out of bounds.
Well, yeah, exactly. And if he tackles him inbounds, the game is over. We're not going to get up there and spike the ball in time to stop the clock. That's the thing you can do in football. You can just spike the ball, and then clock is stopped, try and kick a 50-some yard field goal to win the game.
Yeah, because that was a 60-yard run for Diggs.
61-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But the crazy part was he thought Diggs was going to keep his motion right to left.
Right.
But he took his eyes off of him, which was dumb.
Yeah,
Diggs went
he curls.
high pointed the ball and came straight down instead of...
Right.
Yeah.
That was actually probably the most awesome fucking play I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. It's
in football. That's right up there. That's because I have my most memorable rugby play. Now I have my most memorable. football play.
All right, so we're going to do a little, ladies and gentlemen, the JP breakdown of the Eagles versus Minnesota Vikings. He's not much of a football guy, but we're going to have him break it down. So, JP, here's what I want from you. I want you to tell me who's going to win the game and why. Actually, no, we're going to change this up. We're going to break it down. Which offense is better and why? Which defense is better and why? And who's going to win the game and why?
I'm not sure about their offense. I'm not. I've heard they have a good defense, but I'm worried about our offense because one thing I did notice in the game was the pocket would shrink on Keenan really quickly, especially in the last half. So I don't know if the guys were tired or whatever, but I just noticed that he'd get less and less time to where he'd have to act quickly because he threw the ball away quite a few times. So I think if the Eagles could spot the play action and keep that pressure on him, I think the offense is going to be hard pressed to actually do their fucking job so we can get to the goddamn Super Bowl.
Yep, I would definitely agree with that. New Orleans put more pressure on them.
Do we still have a 3.5 point spread like you were talking?
Oh, I don't know what the spread's at now. I think we're picked.
Because it changes, right?
3. I think last I checked, we were up by 3.
Okay.
Nate says, "Oh damn, I love the solo shots." Thank you, appreciate it. We got that all set up now.
He likes the solo shots.
I'm gonna mute your mic. I'm gonna mute your mic.
Come on now, be kind. Rewind.
And you are absolutely right. The Eagles have a great defense. In fact, here's how it breaks down: the 4 teams that are left in the contention here. Minnesota Vikings have allowed the least amount of points. Number 2 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're playing the Patriots on the other side. And number 3 is the Eagles. So their defense has been really good. Problem is they don't have their quarterback. They lost him for the year. So, yeah.
Gotta hurt Weenie.
So we are 3-point favorites last I checked.
Yeah, as long as the offense, I think it depends on what just how ground poundy their defense is, because obviously they both want to get to the Super Bowl. So you'd think that even if their quarterback's down, they're going to bring their A game.
I mean, last week they barely beat the Falcons, and the Falcons the week before that were given a game by the Rams, and they barely beat them. So I mean, it's kind of crazy. I don't like.
I feel pretty good about us winning.
Yeah, but I hate being in that position. You know what I mean? Like I hate going in as we're supposed to crush this team. You know what I mean?
A 3.5 point spread. I don't think that's really crushing.
But you got to think we're going to their ballpark, and the way it works is you are spotted 3.5 points just for being at home.
Well, you know what though? So. I never really understood the whole going somewhere else and playing in their park. Because even when I played football in school, I didn't give a fuck where I was. Just put me on the field, coach.
Oh yeah.
Point me. It would tell me which way to go.
The weather's going to be nice in this game. It's going to be like close to 50s, I think.
Is it? It's an outdoor game?
It's in Philly, yeah, outdoor. Yeah.
Okay. No, because I remember I was just like, point me. Who do I hit? That guy. Hi. And they always thought it was funny when I would play because I was that guy who pissed them off and made them lose their shit because I'd always psych them out because I could read fucking tells for the most part. So I'd always fake like I'm doing this way, going this way, going that way, and probably 2/3 of the time I think that's fair. Right by.
Gotcha.
Get him, John.
We got without Carson Wentz, there is no chance. Carson Wentz is the quarterback who got injured for Philly. So he's not playing. Their D is amazing, but we held an offense who averaged 28 points in the regular season to 0 in the entire first half. Totally agree. Our defense is so fucking legit, and I think the guys who got injured, I think it was our safety, Sendejo, I think he's going to play.
Hey, what was his name, the quarterback who got injured, or who was the reason Keenan's in, right?
It was Bradford. Yeah, week 1. I don't think he's played. He tried coming back in a game, but he hasn't played since.
I think that would suck, being in that position to where it's like, you opened, and then the guy who comes in to fill in for you, is that still considered first string or is he second string?
Well, so here's the weird part. Our quarterback was supposed to be Teddy Bridgewater. He injured himself in the preseason, and we had to bring Bradford in.
Who let him do that?
What?
Who let, what's his name, hurt himself in the preseason?
It was a non-contact injury. Apparently he was coming out of the pocket, planted on it, tore 2 ligaments in his knee, and dislocated it. If they wouldn't have had medical staff there and they would let him sit, like if he did this in his home, he might have lost his leg below his kneecap.
We need to fire the defensive coach.
No, nobody hit him. It was
No,
non-contact.
I know. We just got to make a. We just gotta,
You should not be a football coach.
just gotta, an example.
We brought Bradford in.
Let this be an object.
He's our
lesson.
quarterback, and then he goes down, and now we have Case Keenum.
So is Case Keenum a second string quarterback, third string quarterback?
No, it wasn't this season that. Wait a minute, was it this season that Teddy got injured? No, I think it was. Shit, I'm kind of losing my stuff here. When did we bring? It's been a long year. Last year we brought Bradford in because he broke the NFL record for completion percentage. So this year we came in with Bradford as our starter, Case Keenum's our backup. Teddy, we didn't know when he was going to play. Yeah, I got my years mixed up.
Okay.
So you're right. He was a backup. Case Keenum's our backup.
But is that considered second string?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not with his play. His play seems like first string.
Yeah.
Except for some of those interceptions he threw. Those
and
were
some
off
of the
his back
times
foot.
that's like, dude, when you're going to throw the ball away, ease up on that wild card shit.
But he's good.
He is good. It looks really good.
He broke records in college. People don't know that about him. He went to Houston in college, and I still think he holds a lot of the major records for touchdowns, yards. I mean, this guy knows how to throw the ball. He's always been on shitty teams.
Just when he was on and he'd hit Diggs, it's like he threw that ball. Come on, bro. Like, and then you see it get into Diggs. You're like, no. I mean, Brendan and I came off the fucking couch, dude. It was just like I think everyone came off their fucking chair because some of those reaction videos, you know,
absolutely.
It was crazy seeing that shot. Did you see the video from inside the Wild Stadium or inside the XL Center?
I saw the one where they were in like the concourse area.
Yeah, no, this is like, oh no, this wasn't the Wild game. This was a Gophers game.
Oh, there we go. No wonder I couldn't find it. I kept searching for that. I couldn't find anything
Gophers
inside
game,
the stadium.
yeah, because they showed some basketball players. Also, I mean, it's like the game stopped because they had it on the jumbotron. You know, so it was
That's
like
fucking cool, man.
I know
Nice.
that's just some 1987 fucking excitement here because there was like
You're talking
89, right?
Twins?
91, yeah, 91 when the Twins won again, but 80, and that was something.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't 87.
Yeah.
87 was the shit, man. That was crazy.
I was in the garage watching this game with my parents and then my roommate Brian, and we had another person there who was from the neighborhood. Yeah, you're raising your hand.
You're in the garage.
Yeah.
Is it insulated?
Yes, and he has a furnace.
Okay.
The garage is like 80. It's great.
Continue.
Yes. So we were watching the game out there, and it's looking bad. You know, we made our kick, that long kick to go in the lead. All right. A lot of time left, minute 30. We got to hold them. Yeah, of course, they marched down, kicked
That was the
their field
second
goal,
kick
and
because he had challenged the previous play with the quarterback not being down, right? The one that put us ahead?
Something
Yeah,
like that.
because that was a
yeah,
re-kick.
yeah.
He had down over on that one.
We'll take your word for it. I don't remember
Yeah, and
that.
I think he pulled that fucking shit just to throw the kicker off. But what's his name?
Our kicker?
Yeah.
Kai Forbath.
Forbath.
Yeah.
Not 3-bath. Certainly not 6-bath.
But Forbath.
Forbath. 5 is right out.
He nailed that.
But he nailed that second one
yarder.
and just sliced the fucking poles, man. I mean, that was pretty awesome.
Dude, he cranked that thing. I think could have went 60-some yards. It was right down the middle.
He's got a foot.
Well, yeah. He missed one earlier in the game that was like 44.
Do you think his foot is insured?
No, it's not
No.
insured. That's
You
not
know
how
what?
it
I'll bet you
works.
they do. How do you know?
I'm pretty sure they don't insure a foot. They insure a player. They don't insure a foot.
I'll bet you they insure. There's like an extra insurance on his foot because that foot is worth a lot of money.
This is what I have to put up with. See, this is why we go nowhere.
Brenda,
nowhere.
we'll ask Brenda when we're done because she's into insurance.
Do kickers insure their foot? No.
Well, I think they insured David Beckham's foot.
They insured
and
David Beckham's
his left foot. Well, probably his right foot too. Maybe the whole player. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm spitballing here, man.
Anyway, we had a guy in the garage who was hanging out with us, and
we're still
we're going here, and he left early. He left after they kicked their field goals. Like, all right, well, it was a good year. God, I'm tired of this. You know, he was pissed. He started walking down the block, and this was a snowstorm happening outside, right?
Yeah.
So it took him a bit, and in the time it took him to get home, they'd already happened. My dad called him up on the phone. Hey, Larry, did you watch the end of the game? What's the point? And he told him, we won.
You dumbass.
Think of the people who went to the game and left early.
There's always a lot of those, and
Let's
you know
beat
what?
the traffic.
I think a lot of those people miss out.
Oh, of course they do.
It's like I told you about that time, and I think I already talked about this at one point, but oh shit, that group from Europe, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
When I went to see them in concert.
That's a cool story. Yeah, tell that one. That's a cool one.
They, they did the Christmas stuff for the first half, and they played for about an hour and a half, and they, all right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in about 45 minutes. And
45 minutes is a long
and
fucking
they just walked off stage.
That's a long
Right?
intermission.
And we're like looking around, and the people we were with, they're like, well, we're going to go. I'm like, come on, man, hang out. What are you going to be? No, it's Sunday night. I'm going to go. We got to go. Blah, blah, blah. We're boring. And so 45 minutes pretty much to the T, they come back on stage. Now, the place had about halfway emptied out, right? Because it had been full. Now it's about half. And
all the old people left.
yeah, the guy walks up to the mic. He says, well, it looks like the old and boring people are all gone, so you guys ready to rock?
That's fucking
and
great.
they rocked for about another 2 hours, and they just did all this classical fusion stuff, and it was fucking awesome.
You stayed for the whole show?
Yeah.
No shit.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, when it comes to jamming,
yeah.
and that's all those guys did that second half. It was just, it'd be like to go see Thorogood.
Oh, George, is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive, and he's still touring.
No
I'd love to see him
shit.
because he's
Band to the bone.
But he's just a jammer. When you listen to some of his blues and some of his live stuff, yeah, man, he's just rocking. He'll go until he's fucking tired.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way you'd have to approach something like that you've been doing for probably almost 40 odd years. I don't know how long Trans-Siberian Orchestra has been doing it, but
probably around 40 something.
But you have to get to a point where you just something. Gel so well that you could just jam together. And like when you listen to some old school shit, Deep Purple, like Made in Japan, you hear like Lazy or Space Truckin'. Most of that is them just jamming out, man.
Is it Woman from Tokyo?
My woman from Tokyo.
Space Truckin' is another good one.
Space Truckin'.
I love those guys.
Fucking Richie Blackmore on the guitar, John Lord on the fucking keys. And those two going back and forth during Lazy. I mean, you get an audio boner.
Yeah.
Big music boner.
They were one of the most musically talented bands who had great singing. Their music was it was like progressive, but more mainstream.
Yeah.
And a lot, because some of the progressive shit could kind of get weird and out
like
there.
Yes could do that.
Yes could definitely do that. Rush can do that sometimes.
Rush can do that sometimes. Favorite Rush album?
Dude, I don't even know a lot of their shit.
Farewell to Kings.
Oh, of course.
Final Answer.
Yeah. Final Answer.
Yeah. Because that one night, me and some friends, we did, me and my friend David and his girlfriend all did a bunch of Vitamin A. And we were packing his shit up, and we listened to Andreas Vollenweider, which is he's considered new age, but some him, and then some John Cougar Mellencamp, Rush, Farewell to Kings, a little bit of Yes. It was just a beautiful fucking music night, but it was like. When I remember when he put on Andreas Vollenweider, and that wasn't necessarily the order because Vollenweider came on later, but it's just such beautiful, airy music, man. And you're, very healthy because you've been eating your vitamins.
Sure.
Yes. It's just beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Highly recommended.
I miss an old Nate. He put in Nick Foles versus Case Keenum. Who's a better quarterback?
That'd be you.
Case Keenum, I think. Nick Foles has had his opportunities, and he's never really flourished. We'll see.
That's the Eagles?
Yeah. He's been, it's crazy.
How old is he?
God, I don't know. I have no idea. I think he's in his 30s now, but both of them played for the Rams at one time. Both had no success for the Rams, but they were in a really shitty offense. Keenum's been to the Texans, I think, and then the Vikes, and Nick Foles, I believe he went to KC for a little while. They both kind of move around. They're now kind of perennial backups, but they were both starters at one time.
Are they?
So they have some experience.
So they're kind of like session players, to a degree.
Yes, they're like the hired
guns. Yeah. I got to finish watching that. I really enjoyed the first half of that.
It's sad too. I mean, there's some shit in there where there's like, it's
don't spoil it. Don't tell me the fucking dog dies at the end.
No. So the song. Stranglehold by
Ted Nugent.
No, who sings that?
Ted Nugent.
No. It's not. It's his hired gun.
That's just him playing.
He was in Ted Nugent's band, and he sang the song. Or no, Stranglehold. That's the one.
So Nugent just sings that live now, or he did.
Yeah, now he did, but on the original, and actually even live for the longest time, it was the other guy.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep, it was his hired gun, and yeah.
Brian Orr. That was the name I was trying to think of this today at lunch. He was the keyboardist for the Cars.
You lost me, man. I must not have been listening.
You're in the back seat.
Yeah.
Because he died of cancer.
Oh,
I think of some unwanted man cancer. If you get my drift.
Most of it's unwanted.
Right, but I think there's some cancers out there that you do not want.
Cancer
it's like
of the
that
nethers.
dog that's like, where the dog's running and it says do not want. Or the cat. He's like leaning on the table and they're putting the lime in front of him and it says do not want, like that.
Wow. That's
visual.
Yeah.
That's me.
No thanks on that.
Do you burp up over there?
A little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Need to be burped?
No, I'm good.
Need your diaper changed?
Yeah.
No?
Speaking of, not diaper change, but I'm getting back to your live music thing. So if you're a band, let's say you're the Stones.
Okay.
And I imagine, you're probably fucking tired of playing your music, right?
Yeah, you played it a million times.
But so you were saying you like the jam part, which is cool. I'm not a huge fan of that. I would rather hear all the songs I came to hear.
Right. And what Thorogood has done in the past is he'll go through his little catalog, right? But then he'll just jam.
So he sates the appetite for hearing the hits that they came for. He realizes that, and then he jams.
Yeah, and then but the thing is, when he jams, he can get close to those fucking melodies again. So he can sidle right up to you with a familiar melody from one of your favorite songs, and then get right back into his jam. I like people who can do that. We saw this comedian one time, Brett Ernst, I think his name is.
Okay.
He's up and coming because he was here, and we've seen his name on the roster over at the Comedy Store. Is this the guy you could have hung
out with?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
But the cool thing was, halfway, he was way over halfway. He was about an hour into his bit. And then he just said, hold on, I'm going to take a minute here. And he just kind of leans back, or reaches back and pulls the stool up. He sits on the stool and he puts the mic on the stand. He puts right by him and he says, he just points out to the stage and says, you don't look like you're having a good time. How come you're not having a good time? And she said, well, I think you're a sexist chauvinist. It's kind of ironic, and he goes, okay, honestly, I'm asking this question honestly, why do you feel that way? And she's like, so they got into this dialogue about his jokes that had offended her because they dealt with feminism, or they put feminism in a unkind light. And then, but from there, he started reaching out and it fanned out. And the next 45 minutes, almost an hour, was just a dialogue between him and the audience. It was so awesome.
Was it funny or?
It was salient.
Weird for a comedian to do that.
It was really cool. It was moving because, okay, he's just taken that wall away. The wall that you have between yourself and the entertainment, and it was cool. And you know what? It probably would not be for everybody, but it was a human moment.
It probably made people feel uncomfortable a little bit.
No, it was very, people were interacting quite well. And there was some humor to it. He still kept it, light and toasty, but it was just really cool. And I like the fact that he has that ability to become human, versus the comedian.
Have you ever been to a comedian? There's a few that do this really well. They don't have any material. They play the crowd.
Tig Notaro?
Kinda. She does it. She does.
Think of the show we saw.
She's good at it. No, she did that with the dripping and stuff. But there's a few others. God, there's one. Rich Voss plays the crowd a lot. And there's another guy, he's got like beak-like structures to him. I can't remember what his name is. I've seen him in a few things, but he is the best at playing the crowd. I may not have noticed it, but I'm sure if I saw it, I probably liked it. Because that's why I always like to sit up front or close to the front, Yeah. Hit me. Yeah, come at me. Yeah. I don't care. Fucking every time we go to a fucking comedy club with you, it's front fucking row, middle. Dude, it was hilarious because at one point, I forget the comedian, but when Kayla and I were there, he asked me something. Or he asked something and I barked it out and then he went on to question me more. And he goes, what's your name? I'm JP. And he goes,
fuck you, JP. And he turned around and continued with his act because he didn't like my answer. Fuck you, JP. I'm like, I like you, man.
That's good.
You're pretty cool.
Comedy Store is great, man. That's such a cool environment. If you ever get out to L.A.,
hit
up
Comedy
Sunset.
Store.
Hit up.
And grab a hotel. There's so many fucking little hotels right around. Well, not little. Some little.
Airbnbs.
There's
too.
Airbnbs.
Yeah.
But there's so much shit right there. It might cost you a couple $100 for the night to stay there. But you know what? Stumbling distance for fun like that, worth every moment. Worth every penny.
Kayla like it?
Kayla loved
liked
it.
it.
Yeah, it was a moment. Yeah, it was a good.
Daddy-daughter moment.
Yeah, she liked it. It was good. What else is going on in the news? I know, dude.
In the news today? How about those the parents who chained all their fucking
Shackled
kids up?
13 kids?
Not some of them weren't even kids. They were like 28 or something.
Some
29.
fucked up shit, man. That is some way fucked up shit. Those guys. I'm sorry. That's when I actually believe in planetary jettisoning.
Those people, there's no reason they should be left alive.
Well, we're not going to kill them. We're
unless
just
it's
going to
for
jettison
study.
them into space.
Yeah.
We're not going to kill them. I mean, they might die, but that's not our fault once they leave the catapult.
Why don't we do our studies on life with them? You know what I mean? Like,
well, why don't we just
let's send them on a craft to Mars and see if it works, or something like that.
You're right. Let's
their
just
will.
chain them into a room to a device of some kind.
I like that.
Let's do that.
Because I don't know the.
I don't know. I
details
just
on the
know
story.
the hype. That's all I know.
Okay, gotcha. Because either way, it's fucked up. They're gonna go away for a while. I did see. Speaking of fucking creeper pieces of shit, the one guy, Nasser, who was the medical.
Yes, the Olympic doctor dude.
Olympic doctor dude for the gymnastics, and he had like 37 counts of touching and stuff like that, sexual misconduct, and
they're in the sentencing phase right now. I think I think it started yesterday. Maybe I might have my days off, but the witness or not the
the accusers
accusers get to say their shit, and it's going to take I think 90 people lined up. It's going to take 3 days. And how'd you like to be? I mean, yeah, fucker, how's it coming? Don't get me wrong, but wouldn't that suck? You got to be that guy that you got to listen to all these people you fucked over fucking for 3 days, and you have to be there, and you got to fucking listen to it, man. That sucks. Overall, that whole situation, it's like, dude, what are you thinking? I mean, there you go. Right there, you got somebody who's definitely they're fucked up, right?
And you could see his reactions to what they're saying. I think he's more reacting to, oh, he got caught, he's going to prison for a while. He's thinking more of himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, 90 times out of 100, you get guys who do something heinous and then get all apologetic in front of the judge. They're sorry they got caught.
Yeah, of course.
That's all it is.
You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. I would like one of these people just for once.
If you were really sorry, you would have turned yourself in.
Well, I would just, at first, I want somebody to be realistic. I'm sure this has happened. Just be real. So let's say it's for, I don't know, drug trafficking or something or whatever. And you say you're sorry. You should, I would like some honesty, come out and say, well, at first I was sorry I got caught. Then I thought about it. And now I figured out what I did wrong. I figured out how it affects people. And now I'm really sorry. I think people would take that apology
a little more seriously as long as it was delivered right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's all about delivery. Yeah.
I'm going to make a pair of pants. I'm going to make a pair of pants.
You're going to make a pair of pants.
I like these. I decided that last night. So I'm going to start collecting material. Make me some patchwork pants. I'm going to do it. You know why? Because I fucking can. I have never done it before. I've made shirts, but I'm going to make a pair of harem pants. It's cool. Fucking extend yourself, man. Try something new. Get out of your fucking box. Shit, I've been out of the box for so long, can't even see it anymore. It's gone. Completely gone. I'm going to make some pants. I'll make patchwork pants just like these.
That's cool. So you can pick all the different material and then...
Yeah, because I'm going to basically...
You can measure those up.
I'm going to take this and measure this. I'm literally going to structure this like in a 3D fashion and just explode it out, and then it won't be hard. Tedious, but not hard. But I just have to learn this little stitch that goes over. I forget what they call it. But
it's almost like a...
It's kind of like V's.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes over. There's a word for it. I know, because I'm a sewer.
Is that what they're called, sewers?
No. A seamstress or a tailor.
You are a seamstress.
I'm a seamster.
You're a seamstress.
I'm a seamster.
Oh.
No, so I'm going to break out my sewing machine here at some point. And I'm going to try my hand at it because I'm not afraid.
Nice.
Probably go to Goodwill, maybe find some shirts that have this kind of material.
Nice.
Anyway, that's just my.
That's cool.
Digression.
I can't make fun of your hobbies and shit because I have ones that would probably be seen as much dumber.
Oh, really? You got good hobbies.
Well, no, like so. For instance, today I bought. I don't know why.
Dude, that's epic that you got that. Though.
I bought an old Sega Dreamcast game called Shenmue. It's one of my favorite games growing up.
Not Shamu.
Not Shamu. Shamu's different. No, Shenmue, all one word. And it's great because it's really bad. It's a really bad game, but it did a bunch of things way ahead of its time. I think it came out in 99 or early 2000, and it had a persistent world that you could basically interact with everything. You could buy cans of soda out of the pop machines. You could buy a gumball and toys out of the little quarter turning machines. It was made by Sega, so they had a full arcade full of Space Harrier and Hang On and shit like that.
Cool.
It was brought to you by a bunch of companies like Timex watches. Siri must have thought I was talking to her about Space Harrier, and somewhere along the lines, she thought I was looking for Space Harrier. So that's great. Thank you for that.
Hey, Siri, how big can a rhinoceros penis get?
I don't know what you mean by can a rhinoceros penis get?
All right.
I tried.
I know.
I did try. I'm sorry.
No. Where was I? Yeah, so it had... it has all these things. Like, you could follow people around in the world, and they would actually wake up, go to their job, and you could follow them home at
an
night.
early Sim City?
It was an early sim world because it was... Think of, like, Fallout and stuff.
Right.
A lot of those games wouldn't really exist without... What the hell am I hearing? No, whatever.
Is that your phone?
No, I'm not sure. A lot of those games wouldn't exist without
me.
Shenmue. So anyway, I found it today. I found a mint condition copy.
It was like $20.
It had all the manuals with it and everything. Now 60, but so I had in the past looked up what it would cost to find a mint condition of this. A couple $100, all the way up to $500.
Right.
But the market dropped. I didn't realize this because GameStop started going back to old games now.
Did you notice this after today?
Well, I still got a good deal. GameStop will sell you a shitty copy without the case for $60.
Is that the cover?
No, it's a little different than that.
Okay.
It's actually less moist. Less moist, yeah.
I was curious.
He likes to give me choice things to look at while I'm telling stories here. When he
important.
does it, I just let him ramble, but he doesn't let me ramble.
It's just nice people exercising.
It's just nice people exercising. That's the best kind of exercise.
Yeah, that is good
I
exercise.
would agree. Yeah.
I try to get him. It's rare that I can get him. The ideal, you know what I get you with? I get you with just some of the obscure shit I come up with.
Yeah, random things I have to
because I could show you that and like porn.
Yeah.
Really wet porn. But you're just, yeah.
Porn.
Once in a while it might mix, but for the most part it's like I'll show him a little video like I did today of it was a happy birthday wish to my brother, and it made total sense.
That was it was well done. That was even that was your second try.
The fucking girl sitting down in a little Barbie bed. She was dancing with her friends, and she squats down, and the very long bedpost on the Barbie bed disappears. It's like a Copperfield trick, and unwanted.
Went up to her nethers, into her,
and she pops up, and then I have found that cut of that dude with the flashlight just getting scared and freaking out and jumping around like a little girl. But it was kind of like he was saying, "No, I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that."
So he likes to invent these stories with these almost like GIF. What would you even call it? Like a GIF, sewing together GIFs to make a story.
Yeah, to make a story. Yeah.
I look at it, I'm just like, it's random nonsense. And you're like, well, no,
because
of this,
this. And then you're just like, well,
okay. You can just make up a story with
made
anything.
up a story, and then it goes to the bit.
Well, you could give me 7 GIFs, and I could make up a story to make them all go together.
Mine would be better.
Oh, wow. So that's really you trumped? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to do a trump? Mine would be better.
Everybody who looked at mine said it was the best. Watch the first episode of season 4 of Black Mirror.
And your thoughts?
It was awesomely twisted. Have I told you about the...
You said first season, sorry, right?
No, 4th season.
4th? Okay.
But but it was really good because it's basically it begins with this bizarre like Star Trek type show, right? Called Space Fleet. You know, and
Oh, that's not trademarked.
oh no, but it's homage the way they do stuff. But the crew is for some odd reason they're very sycophantic towards the captain, right? So then next thing you know, this captain dude is at work and he's a partner in a
Wait, isn't he always at work? He's the captain.
well, no,
He's
he's actually a developer at this company, and that happens to be his VR. So what he does is he gets DNA of the people he works with, feeds it into the machine, and then it puts a representation of them, but an actual virtual representation of them. It almost it's very holodecky, kind of like Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Moriarty. You know how they
TNG. Fucking
yeah,
nice.
it's very TNG like.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean very TNG like. But then this guy's very sadistic because these people treat him like shit in the real world. So in his virtual world, he's not a kind person.
So he's torturing their virtual avatars in the holodeck. And do they find out about this? Or are you going to ruin the episode by saying that?
Watch it. Just watch it. You can watch it at my house.
Everybody collectively is invited to watch this at JP's house.
Not everybody.
He lives at...
Your mama's house.
Yeah, right. So, Black Mirror, we should watch that.
Watch that. There's Electric Dreams that's on Prime. That is based on Philip K. Dick.
Have electric dreams?
No, that you're thinking of Android's Dream.
Electronic Sheep. Thank you.
Or Electric Sheep.
That's also by him?
That's it by him, yeah. But this is called Electric Dreams, and it's kind of a play on that. But it's all shorts, little vignettes. And they're bringing the Twilight Zone back, I heard, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do. I hope they do it in black and white. I hope it has a cheesy opening.
Oh, and you got to have that Rod Serling kind with a little squared off napkin happening right there, you know?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, man. They fucking did that shit right.
Hey, you, somebody mentioned this to me outside of you. It was a Philip K. Dick thing. I have no mouth, but I must scream.
No, that's Harlan Ellison.
That's Harlan Ellison. Somebody said that's amazing.
That is brutally amazing because that's a bunch of an anthology of Harlan Ellison's short stories, and the guy could write. He wrote. Sometimes he'd write, say, science fiction. But like if you pick up a book of his short stories, one might be sci-fi, one just might be drama, one might be a thriller, one might be a supernatural. So he didn't stick to one genre, and it was fantastic stuff. Like I Have No Mouth and I'm a Screen is about this computer that's become sentient, and the whole Earth has been ravaged by war, and everyone's escaped the planet except for these 5 people. That the computer he's become omnipotent to where he can manipulate organic matter.
The computer can?
Yeah. So he tortures these people because he hates humans. So he tortures them so they all are working their asses off to try and kill each other. So that they can be free. It's really fucking good.
Jesus Christ. It kind of got a little spooky, a little Skynet, a little...
It gets really fucking dark. I mean, really fucking dark. Yeah, it's good. Harlan Ellison wrote some good shit. He wrote one of the episodes, one of my favorite episodes, The Man with a Glass Finger, The Man with a Glass Hand. It was Robert Culp played the main character. He's an older
idea
actor.
who Robert Culp is.
You know, if you saw him, you'd go, oh, I kind of remember him from, you've seen him and stuff.
Okay.
But he played, Harlan Ellison wrote this one. It was about this time traveler who... his hand was how he traveled. Well, he woke up with no memory of who he was, but he had to find his 5 fingers. So they're throughout this building, this industrial building.
What the fuck?
He's got to find. So as he finds them again, then he can change things back the way they are supposed to be. And in doing so, though, he's going to kill himself. But he's doing this to rescue this woman who these men in black who are chasing them. You know, so it's really good. I mean, God, Harlan Ellison was really good about some of the. He was more of the psychodynamics of relationships with people, whereas Philip K. Dick tended to be the hyperdynamic nature of situations.
And is this author still around?
Harlan Ellison, I don't know. Philip K. Dick is not. He died during the making of Blade Runner. So 1981.
Fucking dude never got to see how great
He
that
got
movie
to
was.
see. They brought him in shortly before he died to see some of the dailies and some of the finished product that they had done. And one of the comments he made, and this has to be, as Ridley Scott would go, pardon me, this has to be just an awesome compliment, because Philip K. Dick said, it's like you put a camera inside of my head.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
If you're the fucking director and Philip K.
Yeah.
Dick, because Ridley Scott probably really looks up to Philip K. Dick to want to make a movie out of Alien, right? I mean, I imagine...
Well, no, out of...
I'm sorry, out of...
do androids dream of electronic sheep? Or of electric sheep? That's what Blade Runner is made from.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where the fuck my brain went there. But,
Well, Ridley Scott did Alien, too.
yeah. Okay. Well,
He brought H.R. Geiger. And it's funny because Blade Runner, as well as Alien, both were kind of byproducts of a movie that never got made, and that was the Jodorowsky's Dune.
yeah, we watched that together. That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
But all the different people he had in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you
Orson Welles.
when you look at it that way. It's like it's some crazy shit. I mean, they just some of the stuff they brought. I mean, and I'm glad that Jodorowsky didn't do it, even though I think it would have been really cool. It would have been a thing.
Yeah.
But I liked what Lynch did with it. I just wish that because the De Laurentiis and Lynch, they had their shit together with Dune, but it was the studio that fucked it up.
Yeah.
Because because it went long in production, and yes, they took some liberties with the story, but it's actually really, I think it's as well done as we've seen as of yet.
They're remaking it. They're making
Yeah.
another Dune. It was the who the fuck was it again? I sent you something on this. It's a director that's going to do some crazy things with it.
Speaking of,
He directed something that was really well done. Fuck, I can't remember his name now. Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Altered Carbon, February 2nd.
Talk on that, man. Go.
I'm really kind of nutsoid for that because I want to
Netflix show? Sorry?
Netflix
Okay,
show, yeah. That'll probably be one of the first shows I binged since like the first or second season of 24.
Oh,
Because we binged that. Brenda and
okay,
I.
gotcha.
Oh, Brenda and I made it be like Tuesday night, or should I say Wednesday morning. We're like, it's 2:00, and Brenda and I would just finish an episode. It's like, you got one more in you. And we've watched like 4, 5 episodes already that night. And now I know there's some Netflix bingers who probably say, you guys are pussies. But it looks to be it looks beautiful with what they've done with the show, or the background in the city. And so it's going to be interesting to see, because Richard K. Morgan, he's a guy who wrote Altered Carbon. He writes, his style is very at once gritty and romantic.
did they release a trailer for this yet? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a trailer already.
When we're done tonight, I'll have to show you the new trailer.
I want to see it.
Because it's just like, oh, it's going to be so fucking cool. And then I think my favorite book, sci-fi wise, Neuromancer, I think that's got another director. They've been trying to make that into a movie for like 30 years, if not more.
Nice. I looked up the director for the new Dune, possibly, and it's the Blade Runner 2049 director.
Then you know it's going to be good.
So, it's going to be kind of like a good pace for a movie
Dune
like
is
that.
you read the whole book, right?
No. Oh, wait, yeah, I'm sorry. I read the original Dune, not all of the little sub-books.
Right, but you've listened to, I think you listened to it, didn't you?
Yeah. I listened to it, yeah. Didn't read it.
I think I read the original, but I've listened to it a few times. Dune is, I probably feel about Dune the way like your people who are into fantasy and shit feel about like forest gnomes and shit like that. It's like, oh
Sure.
man, it'd be so fucking cool to be living. But in reality, Dune was not really a good place for plebs.
No.
I mean, just the entire universe, because you got some very bad places. I mean, like if you live on Gidi Prime, which is like Baron Harkonnen's little fucking fiefdom, it's not a good place. That's not a good thing. There were some bad people and bad things happened, even on Arrakis. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, because even the Fremen, and Paul's Fedaykin, his close little guard.
Yeah.
When
Fedaykin guards.
when they set out to take his jihad across the fucking galaxy, these guys slaughter entire planets in Paul's name.
Oh, these are in the later books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, in the series, because you have Paul, right? And then eventually you have his son, Leto, who becomes this sandworm dude, because he kind of goes running around with sandworms, and so he rules for like 3,500 years or 2,500 years or something like that. And then it goes to another period, and then into the future from there, people talk about the much hated God Emperor of Dune, who was Leto. And then before that was Paul. They talk about how much everyone hates them and stuff. And it's like, okay, guys, you need to stop for a second. Let's add a little pragmatism to the mix. You guys wouldn't have this awesome living thing that you have right now.
Yeah.
If they weren't really evil, they just did the shit that needed to be done. And they may have been a little misguided. But you would be in a totally different place if you were any place at all without them.
Yeah, sure.
So I think about stuff like that because, my thoughts are random. I come out of the shower and I'm just spouting off about lava and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I like the Dune universe. I thought the story was really cool.
Yeah.
And the movie, not so much, but
I like the movie.
Well, the movie was good. It's just the 80s cheese that was just filling.
Oh, the music.
God, the music and the thunder and lightning and like shit. It was so bad. The music was really terrible.
Yeah,
I thought it didn't match the mood at all.
Bad music. There's a movie with, oh shit, what's it called? Shadow something? It's about, it's got a young Matthew Broderick, Rutger Hauer, Michelle Pfeiffer, and it's this little adventure where Michelle Pfeiffer and Rutger Hauer are madly, this was before he got fat, they're madly in love with each other. But this one bishop dude really loves Michelle Pfeiffer, and so he's like, well, if I can't have her, no one can. So he makes it so she's a bird by day, and he's a wolf by night. So they can only see each other like for a few seconds at midnight or something like that.
When did this come out then? This
80s,
had to have been, okay.
80s. Now,
when Michelle Pfeiffer was slanging heat.
I've just described an awesome premise, right? So they had this, I think it was Tangerine Dream who did or maybe it wasn't Tangerine. Either way, they had this music for the soundtrack.
And was this drama?
This was mystical, magical adventure. Rutger Hauer is a wolf.
Yeah, but
at night, Michelle Pfeiffer is a bird by day. So that's a magical fantasy movie.
No, I get that, but was it serious or was it funny, like a Princess Bride?
No, it was serious.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Yeah, but it was the movie was fucking awesome, and then they bring this music, and the music completely destroys the movie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's too bad. It's nothing worse than that. The music has to go with it.
I wish with the Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, the directors, the actual Blu-ray edition, which had like 3 or 4 or 5 different versions in there. For the director's cut, I really like what he did with the movie, aside from the fact that he took the narrative out. I wish one of the things they do in the sound options, where you could have different, where you could turn on the, what do they call it? The commentary.
Like the commentary, yeah.
You could turn that on, but it'd be cool if you could add the narrative back in.
So in the director's cut, he decided to remove Decker's narrative, or like his narrating.
Yep.
Okay.
Because they never wanted that in there.
Huh,
in the first place, the studio demanded it. In fact, if you ever listen to the international cut, when Harrison Ford is doing his narrative, he just sounds angry, and he just really doesn't. It sounds like he doesn't give a shit, because he was angry and he didn't give a shit, because he didn't want to fucking re-record it, so he had to go to England to re-record to record this fucking narrative, and he was just pissed off about doing it, so he just slung it out. But when you listen to the fucking narrative, it worked. It was like
kind of tired in the narrative.
Great. It was hard boiled. He was sick of this shit.
That's cool. Yeah,
they don't advertise for killers in the newspaper.
How about the fucking? Well, I don't really remember the music too much in that movie, but I fucking remember the music in 2049.
Oh Jesus!
That fucking was the loudest.
There was ear rape.
Yeah, it was.
There was
insane
ear rape. I wasn't a big fan of a lot of the booming music. I'm sorry. I liked the music. Don't get me wrong, because I think they stayed true to Vangelis' sound from the original Blade Runner, which was phenomenal. In fact, you should get the 25th year version, because it has another CD with there's like a fucking hour and a half of music from the movie that never made it onto the original soundtrack. So, and the second CD is fucking, the first one is great. It's got all that awesome dramatic shit and really cool songs. But the second CD is got this one song on it called A Piano Playing in an Empty Room. And it's very dirgy,
Okay.
you know. And in fact, I've used it for a few funeral video things, like where I have to do the slideshow for the deceased kind of stuff.
Oh, you played this for me. How it ends, real slow. And
yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Dude,
Dirgy.
I did that.
Yeah, at that one.
I knew exactly what I was doing. I took the end of that and I put it on John's tape at the end of his video, because that's how I closed it, because it was just perfect. That it just the way it closed and walked down was just fucking perfect. And I wasn't tight with John, you know. Brenda was more, you know. But I'm fucking losing my shit.
Yeah, something about that music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, especially the way the picture just kind of fades out. And then when we got there to do it, everyone was like, holy shit, man. You know, it's like, I haven't gotten that kind of a response on, you know, I've done a lot of videos, you know, and people will be like, oh, hey, thanks, man. It looked great. It's fucking great, man. Thanks.
You're
Appreciate
good
that.
at making people cry.
Well,
Congratulations.
no.
I
That was
know,
the first time I ever got an emotive response, you know, an emotional, you know, an emotionally charged response. And that was really cool to touch somebody like that.
Yeah, I suppose if it was under better circumstances, it would feel a little better. But I think you were getting those emotional responses because it seemed like you tapped into who he was.
Yeah.
And they saw that it wasn't fake. And
Yeah.
And that's big.
In doing that, it maybe helped them a little bit to, you know, to express that, to vent that, to let that out. So it's funny, I get like that with my writing too. I really enjoy it when someone says, I had several people say in the reviews, I didn't like Martin Mann. I couldn't stand him. In fact, he just pissed me off every time I had to listen to him fucking banner on. But they kept on going. They listened to the whole story, and they may have not given me the best review, but they hated the character. They didn't hate the book. They hated the fucking character. So if I can get someone to emote, I don't care if it's positive or negative. Not that I want to incite violence or anything.
he was
like
in the
that.
majority of the book, though. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, just not the shit on your parade right now. Just
No, I know, but I mean, they stayed with it. They finished the book, you know. So it's like, even though they hated the character, maybe they hated him so much that we've got to get through this. But there was a few who, you know, and there were people who loved the character, you know. So it was really cool when you can just affect somebody, even if it's negative. Oh, that character sucked. I fucking hated him from the cover to cover. It's like, I did something then, you know. I win.
that's cool. Yeah.
So sorry for that digression.
No, that's kind of what this is called. I don't know if
But
you
there
knew
is
that.
that.
Is this your first day?
Yes. Dave said that I was going to get paid.
Oh, did he now?
Hey, he says a lot of things.
Dave's long gone. Dave's an old producer for our video. We did like a newscast. You can find these. It's on the
YouTube channel.
on the
Check it
YouTube.
out. We should do that stuff like that.
Sure, we can maybe for like the 1 year anniversary show or something.
Maybe on
50-second video.
Is there a good our 50-second video?
Yeah, 52 weeks in a year.
Oh, I like
It'd
that.
be the 53rd then, I suppose.
We should do a 52-second video then, in honor of that, just to see if anyone puts it together. It's our 50-second video.
A 52-second video honoring our 50. It's simple. It's just a second worth of each episode we put out. That's it. And we'll even cut in the audio and see if it makes any fucking sense. I'm sure you could.
It makes sense to me.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, you know, granted, it's cacophony. It's madness. It's a chaos. It's a storm. But it's a place I call home.
That's quite the place. Whatever, man. Well, we should wrap this puppy up. Like
Hey, it's been
done.
fun. Oh, we talked about that. Oh, I did want to mention one more thing.
Here's a shocker, everybody.
Yeah, I know.
It's John, but he's like an infomercial.
We were
but
talking-
one more.
You know,
one
these,
more thing.
These little anthology shows we were talking about, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, you know, what have you. There was a show on in the aughts. I think it was 2001, 2002, maybe later, called Nightmares and Dreamscapes, and it was an anthology series, but it was all based on Stephen King short stories, or they were written by Stephen King.
Was this on TV?
Yeah, this was on. I think it was ABC.
Nightmare and Dreamscapes. I swear I've heard of this. I just don't remember.
But they had they did one of the ones they did the short stories, which is one of my favorite ones, is Battleground. And I read that book, that short story was in Night Shift, and it's a story of this assassin who comes home after a job, right? And he's got this bitchin' apartment. I mean, it's just, even in the book, in the little short story, they talked about his awesome apartment. And it was really nice the way they did it. And he has a package, so he comes home, he looks at the package, he sets it on the counter, he makes a drink, he kind of opens it, looks at it, and it's just like a little army box, like the old G.I. Joe army box, full of just little army men, right? So he's like, what the fuck is this? So he goes and takes a shower. Well, then you see the lid pop up on it, and you see these little army men start coming out. And these army men
fucked up Toy Story.
Yeah, and there's this huge battle with these guys, and it's fucking almost 20 years on, so I don't care if I'm fucking spoiling anything, but he ends up pretty much, and the thing, Bill Hurt plays the guy in the show, William Hurt, and in the whole series, in the whole episode, he doesn't say a word, not one word.
Really?
It's fucking awesome.
It's kind of neat.
And it's funny because, you got this battle and he finally gets to almost the last one, right? And the guy pulls out the little army man pulls out this little box, and I think it's a secret weapon on it, and then he opens it up and it says nuke, and then
shit.
And then it cuts to the outside of the apartment building, and all of a sudden you see, boom, the fucking window blows out, and it
blew the whole thing up.
Blew the whole thing up, yeah. It's
Killed
cool.
him. Crazy.
There's another movie of Stephen King's. It was actually a movie called Cat's Eye. It's kind of some horrible vignettes in that one and stuff, but the cool thing is they had two others of my favorite little short stories by Stephen King.
Please tell me Maximum Overdrive is in this. Please tell me Maximum Overdrive. Oh.
No, that was all by itself. That was a movie alone. These are just little vignettes, but they had Quitters Inc. and The Ledge. And Quitters Inc. is about with James Woods. And he plays, he's this guy who wants to quit smoking, right? And his friend says, oh, dude, go to Quitters Inc., man. They help me. I think you should go there.
Sounds legit. And
so he goes there and he walks in and, you got, it just looks like when you go in to borrow money from the mob in the 40s, it's a guy sitting behind a desk and you got a little enforcer sitting behind him just kind of shelling nuts and eating them. And James Woods is like, yeah, it's just Quitters Inc. He goes, yeah, what do you want? He goes, I want to quit smoking cigarettes. He goes, all right, you got them in your pocket? He goes, yeah. Gives him the pack. He goes, you got another one? He goes, yeah, I just picked one up. He takes them, he cuts them in half with a big giant pair of scissors, right? You're done smoking. And he's like, what do you mean I'm done smoking? He goes, you're done smoking. He goes, we catch you smoking. And he hits a button and you see this window, right? And there's this like metal room on the other side of the window, right? And all of a sudden someone throws a cat in this metal room, and then he hits a button, and then you see the cat jumping around. You see getting shocked because the walls are all shocked. And he goes, I catch you smoking, I'm going to put your fucking wife in there, right? That's the first offense.
Holy shit.
So he's like, this is fucking stupid. I'm out of here. This is ridiculous. And so he leaves, right? But now he's thinking about shit, and he's in his car and he finds a cigarette while he's driving, and he's looking around and there's nobody there. And so he's like, he takes his head off the cigarette and then he kind of blows it out and he sits up and looks over at the car next to him. And there's this guy looking right at him. I mean, just intensely right at him. And he's like, oh, fuck. So he takes his car and he tries to get back to the place or to his house. Well, his house is ransacked when he gets there. Right, so then he gets in his car, drives back to Quitters Incorporated, and he's like making a scene, and the henchmen are, of course, fucking him up and shit. It's like, dude, told you you're done fucking smoking, right? And the thing comes up, his wife's in the fucking room, and you see her just fucking jumping around, screaming, getting a little shocked and electrocuted and stuff. And so it was all about. That's what Quitters Inc. is about. It's really good.
Shit, that's cool.
But The Ledge had what was his name? The pilot from Airplane.
Oh, Leslie
I have a
Nielsen?
drinking problem. No,
the young guy.
The young guy.
I don't know.
He was in it. And the guy who played Baron Vladimir Harkonnen in Dune.
No shit.
Is in this. And basically, these mob guys grab this guy. He's a professional tennis player, and bring him to Vladimir's place. I don't know his name in the show. And Vladimir's like, you've been fucking my wife, haven't you? And he's like, he goes, you know who I am? yeah, I know who. Yeah, you know who I am because you're fucking my wife, you know. And he's like, no, I'm not fucking your wife. He goes, you're fucking my wife. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking your wife. He goes, and you guys were planning on leaving. You're gonna run away with my wife, weren't you? He goes, well, yeah, because he's got some conviction. So he's like, yeah, fuck it. I was gonna run. You're a piece of shit, you know. And the mob guy says, Vladimir says, tell you what, because they're in a penthouse suite, right? He's like, there's a ledge outside my window. It goes all the way around the building. You walk that ledge all the way around and come back to the other side and come back to this window from that side. You can have my wife. You and her can go. And so the whole thing, and that's like the first 5 minutes. The rest of it is him on that ledge. And there's this fucking pigeon that just keeps fucking with him because he makes him leave his shoes in the house. So he's walking and this fucking pigeon, this one pigeon keeps going after his fucking feet. So he's in, you know, so you got all the drama and trepidation of him going around this building, right? And then he finally gets, and the guy says, don't even think of fucking sneaking in a window because I'll know. And every once in a while, the guy, Vladimir, will fucking pop out a window and scare the guy, you know, and almost make him fall. But then eventually the guy is like, he's in this little alcove and you see this little fucking pigeon that's been fucking with him the whole time. And you see the pigeon walk into this alcove and you don't really see the guy, but all of a sudden you see a foot and feathers just boosh. He just kicks that fucking pigeon. And everyone's in the theater, because I saw it in the theater, and everyone's like, kill that fucking bird.
Did he make it?
And then he makes it. And he gets back in and the guy's like, oh, all right, well, it looks like you made it. You know what? Fuck it. A deal's a deal.
Yeah.
Here's my wife. And he throws a shopping bag and her head rolls out of the fucking shopping bag.
Oh, man.
And that was the wrong thing to do because a boy loses his fucking shit and beats up the fucking guy's bodyguard, takes his gun, and then makes him get out there and walk the ledge.
Oh, boy.
And this guy's like fat. He's like just like
it's Harkonnen guy. Yeah.
And because, you know, Harkonnens are heavier people.
Of course, yeah.
Because you've seen Raban, his brother. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
But
big redhead guy.
But what's funny is as he's going around, that pigeon's back. I started going to his ankles, and then
it's pissed off because he got kicked.
So it shows this guy leaving this hotel this apartment building where this guy lives, and it just shows him coming out. You know, so the typical New York hooded exit. So he comes out and he takes a walk, and then but behind him as he's walking, the camera's in front of him. You just hear this way behind him.
Cool.
So I was like. Yes, those are two awesome stories.
I like it.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
I just wanted to squeeze those in before we got done.
Oh, don't worry.
So I did that.
So our sponsors are Stephen King and his short stories.
Yes, short stories by Stephen King.
Yes, it's a new children's book coming out.
It's not a children's book.
It's a children's book.
I'm trying to think if I had a sponsor. For some odd reason, I seem to think I may have. I don't. I could be mistaken.
You had a long nonsense name, but go for it. I remember it. Well, I don't remember the name. It was so damn long, but...
No. Oh, no. I just wrote this. I had a thought last night before I went to sleep. That's what it was.
Okay.
It starts when the cart is back in front of the horse where it belongs once more.
Wow. Did you just wake up to these thoughts?
No, I was almost asleep and I had that thought. And I'm like...
It stops, yeah.
Yeah.
The cart.
Well, we were walking the other day. That's where and it's not just a string of words.
No, that's not.
But this other one's just a thing.
Go for it.
The Border Utopia's Cornucopia Museum of Failed Rectal Heroics.
That's our sponsor.
I think it would just...
What do they do?
Well, they have x-rays. They have rooms with x-rays of foreign object matter that's been...
So fecal matter?
No. Like
matter from foreign objects.
They're it's like it'll be x-rays of like a Coke bottle in a bad place, a Barbie doll, or 3 different x-rays of different Barbie-style dolls from a guy who kept slipping in the shower, and the Barbie dolls would go up his butt.
That's all we have.
Hi, Clark.
You,
slipped in the shower again
this week. Thank you for tuning in.
Is that Skipper?
Skipper. I think we're gonna have to.
I think that would hurt.
We're gonna have to get rid of John next week. We'll find a replacement.
Well,
we'll
that's angry. I'm just sharing.
No, it's hateful. It's not angry.
I'm not. You're being hateful.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah. Come on now.
Take good care of what you've got, my father said to me, as he smoked his pipe and baby bee he dangled on his knee. Don't fool with fools who turn away, and keep good company. Ooh-hoo.
Have a good one, everybody.
Ooh-hoo. Take care of those you call your own, and keep good company. Very soon, and happy to my very good friends and me. Fucked it up. We'd play all day with Sally J, the girl from number 4. Very soon I begged that girl to keep good company. Woo-hoo.